What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I post every single Sunday, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And today is the last travel vlog for a hot sec. We're in our last city, which is Paris. I left you off when we were leaving Florence. We went to Nice, and we were in Nice for like a day. Like, we got there at midnight. We were there for a full day, and then we left yesterday morning on train to come to Paris. So I didn't vlog in Nice since we were only there for a day, and it was like more of a laid back, chill day, which was much needed. Lots of traveling in this time and just like a lot of chaos. So yesterday we got into Paris around 5 p.m. and we pretty much just had dinner. We walked around a bit, but not much. But today we're getting at it. Right now it's 7 a.m. We woke up at 6:20 and we're going on a 10-hour bike tour of Versailles, like the palace. And we have to take a train to get there. This is like all through a tour group. So we meet them at the train station, take the train there, do this bike tour, have some farmers market lunch situation, do more of a bike tour, and then leave. I'm very interested because this seems like a very like long day, but Chris says it has really good reviews. And you know, I do enjoy biking every once in a while, so I think that I will like it. The only bad thing is that it is forecasted to rain the entire day essentially, but I think it will just be on and off drizzles because the total precipitation is only supposed to be like a quarter of an inch. So hopefully we're okay. They said they would give us ponchos, which I'm hoping for. I only packed an umbrella for this trip, but I should have packed like some sort of rain jacket. So that was an L on my part, but I think they'll give us something. So we woke up this morning. Yesterday we went to the grocery store and we got some frosted flakes. Yeah, them here to eat for our breakfast. And now we still have more. So, you know, could be a breakfast in the future as well. We have been eating, you know, a decent amount of fruits and vegetables actually. Definitely better than Italy so far. So we'll see, but I was thinking mix it up from the yogurt and fruit, and it was a fun breakfast to wake up to. And now we're about to leave and go to this train station and meet up with this bike tour group. So let's go. Paris is very empty at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning when it's raining. What a surprise. We got our bikes. There's Chris. Right now there's a little chaos. We made it to the chateau. These are the public apartments. Very decked out. We're back on the bike. We're gonna bike to a market for lunch. Look at that speed demon. Pro cyclist. We're back at the chateau. We're now having a picnic near the canal. So here's what Chris and I got. That was totally up to us. We got some sheep cheese. We got an entire rotisserie chicken. We got, I don't know what this is called. It's like pain and gratin. It's like potatoes and cheese. These are good. Potatoes, yeah, and with truffle. Blackberries that were like €8. And some wine. So I'm excited to eat our rotisserie chicken the most. What are you most excited about eating, Chris?
The potatoes.
Yeah, I think the potatoes will be really good. And the view is really nice. Everything is actually very good. These potatoes are bomb. The truffle's so good. The chicken's also good. It's just cold. And the cheese is really good. And the blackberries are also good, but I don't know if they're $8 good. What are your thoughts?
Same thought as you.
It's raining quite hard now. Got my poncho. I think our picnic is over, but thankfully we're mostly done eating. One last bike ride to the station. The Paris Starbucks mugs are slightly better. It's raining pretty hard, but it's also sunny out. It's very interesting. But I'm ready to go home and change out of these wet clothes. We are back in our apartment. We wanted to come home right away and just change out of like wet, dirty clothing. And then we're also going to go to dinner like somewhere near our apartment. So it made sense. But it feels good to be in dry clothes again. And today, I don't know, what would you give today a rating?
Maybe 7.5 out of 10.
I feel like that's fair. I think there were high points and there were low points for me. So
I think that if it was sunny and the weather was perfect,
it would have been
an
nicer.
8.5 or 9 out of 10. I think the rain really brought the experience down a little bit, unfortunately.
The rain was bad, but at least it only really rained in the afternoon. Like if it rained in the morning too, it would have been even more miserable. But we got there and we first like toured the public apartments and then we went to the gardens. We biked from the metro station. Essentially when we got off the train station, there were bikes, like the company had a place like right next to the train station, which was nice. But we essentially just like biked to the chateau and then we got off the bikes. So in the morning there was like almost no cycling, which is not what I imagined. Like I thought we were going to be cycling for like half of the like 10-hour tour and we cycled for maybe like 2 hours, do you think?
Not even, maybe.
And I think like pretty cycling was only like an hour. So we only spent like an hour cycling around the Palace of Versailles and like the gardens and then maybe like 30 minutes-ish of like cycling on the road. I don't know, because we had to cycle to the market too.
Yeah.
But like that's like not fun cycling, right? Like there's cars, we're a big group. Like some other people in our group had mediocre cycling skills. So like that was like not like that. Like it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like fun. So after we did the walking tour of the public apartments, which we actually had a tour guide who was like very knowledgeable, and we like kind of met up because they were running like multiple bike tours. So for the public apartments, we were like in a bigger group and it wasn't our specific tour guide. And then like we went with our specific tour guide for the rest of the day. And like he was also very good. Like they're very knowledgeable. And I do appreciate it because I don't know that much history. So like if we walked through that, we wouldn't have known what was going on at all.
On top of like being pretty knowledgeable about the history of the like French Revolution and the building of the palace, I think that they like told really good stories. Like maybe they exaggerated things here and there, but I feel like they made it like a really like memorable narrative.
But I mean, to be fair, I think that it was interesting history. But yeah, I agree. They were good storytellers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then after we did the public apartments and the garden, then we got on our bikes, biked to this like farmer's market, which I like kind of think is a tourist trap because it was very expensive. But all farmers markets are expensive, I guess. And they're basically like, get your lunch here because we're going to like go eat a picnic outside. And like, so we got our food, but just that entire process took a very long time. It took about an hour from when we left the chateau to when we were leaving the farmer's market. And then after we left the farmer's market, I'd say it took another half hour to like stop for bathroom breaks and like actually cycle to where we wanted to go, which was in the gardens on the canal. But then that was very beautiful. It was very nice to sit there and eat our food until it started raining really heavily. But like, that was probably my favorite part, but my least favorite part was like getting the food. Like it was just like, I think they should just give us like bad food. Like the food was good, but I think they should just give us like sandwiches instead of like making us do this whole market thing. But I guess it was cool to see. And then after lunch, we went to
Marie Antoinette's Hamlet.
Did we see anything else?
We saw a collection of buildings outside the palace that were supposed to be getaways for the king and the queen, which are basically just smaller
mansions.
smaller mansions around the palace.
Our tour guide talked about the French Revolution a lot and like gave us a lot of background information in the afternoon. And then it was probably like 4:15ish. It was supposed to go until 6. And honestly, we got back to our apartment at like 6.
Yeah.
So that was kind of accurate. I thought we were going to like get back into the Paris station because essentially we had to take like 2 different metros. So I thought we were going to get back to like our meeting point at 6. But I guess we got back a little bit earlier, but like no complaints. I was ready to leave. And like you did definitely get to see cool things. It was just like a long day. And I wasn't hungry when we woke up this morning, but I still had like a decent sized bowl of cereal, but I was definitely hungry by the time we ate because we ate probably like 1:30, but we had been walking around and like cycling the entire morning and had ate breakfast at 6:30. So I was definitely very hungry by the time we got to lunch.
The biggest problem for me was one, the weather was unfortunate, which kind of like put
the rain in the afternoon was kind of bad.
Whole experience. And then the second thing is just the pacing.
Yeah.
Like, I think we could have definitely done the whole thing in 2 hours less. Like, if people were faster at biking.
Yeah.
No, I know, but let's say, assuming people were faster at biking, we, like, stopped less at the bathroom. And, like, I just felt like the people in our tour group were, like, kind of slow at
I agree.
Stopping and getting back on their bikes. And there's this whole process to unlock our bikes as well. That took a long time.
Every time we stopped, our tour guide had to like lock 3 bikes together. Like his locks were only big enough for 3 bikes, so he just had to go. And we had like 15 people. Like it was a process. And I felt bad for him, but
they definitely could hone their process to make the experience a lot more efficient. And because the pace was so slow, our food was cold. We could have easily like had warm food, but because it took an hour to get from the farmer's market to our picnic spot, our food was not as warm, and literally the cycling wasn't even that long. I could have cycled straight to the picnic at full speed in about 5 minutes. I don't know why everybody cycled so slowly. That's my rant.
But the bright side of the day is on the way home in the metro station, there was a Starbucks, and I've been looking at Starbucks places. So there were like no Starbucks places in Italy up until we were in Florence, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think it was weird when there like wasn't any in Bologna or Sorrento because those are smaller cities, but there wasn't one in Rome, but apparently one is going to open. And then the one in Florence I thought was ugly, and then we went to one in Nice, and I thought the Nice one was also ugly, but I think the Paris ones were okay. And I usually get my dad a Starbucks mug, and I've started getting them for myself as well. So I got like one of this version, which I'm not crazy about, but I'm probably going to keep this one for myself because I have other Starbucks mugs that are this shape, so it's like nice that they can all stack on top of each other. And like, it's not the ugliest thing. Like, I think the other ones were uglier, but I just don't like the like basicness of the like design. Like, I don't like that there's no like shading. And then the other one that they had for Paris is like this version, which is definitely like an older Starbucks version. And I think I'm going to give this one to my dad. I like the Eiffel Tower on it the most because I've given him 2 other ones that are like this version. So he kind of has a collection of this version. So I was happy that they had some better options, but that was a nice way to end the day. And now that we're dry, I think we're going to go to dinner soon. It's only 6:25-ish, but we had dinner very late last night. I don't want to do that again because it like upsets my stomach to eat like super late before I go to bed. I don't know how all the Europeans do it, but that is what is on the agenda next. Dinner time. Another super healthy meal after I said we were eating healthier in France. We got truffle fries. We're on a truffle kick today and French onion soup. And we got this beef stew as like the main and burrata. So it's kind of a random meal. This is also more food than I thought it would be. I didn't know. It's hard to tell. Sometimes I feel like you get beef stew and it's like really tiny. but hopefully we can eat it all. What's your ranking now that we've sampled?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So 1 beef stew, 2 French onion soup, 3 fries, 4 burrata.
Yeah.
I might like the French onion soup more, I'm not sure. But yeah, the 2 French foods are like way better. I thought the fries would be better. And then the burrata was just in a ball when it came out, so you just know it's not fresh. Good morning. It's now the next day. After dinner last night, I called my parents and then literally went to bed. I was so tired. We've just been like moving around a ton lately, like taking the bus from Florence to Nice and then training from Nice to Paris and then going on this long bike tour. I was so tired. And now it's the next day. And today my resolution is to not eat any potatoes because I didn't realize yesterday how many potatoes we ate until after dinner. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can just feel this clump of potatoes because we had like the huge ones at lunch and then French fries and mashed potatoes at dinner. But we're starting the day off strong. We're having breakfast and coffee at home because it's already 9 a.m. So some more Frosted Flakes and some espresso. Gotta love it. So we're gonna eat these up and then we'll start the day today. Today is mostly a like touristy chill day. Like we're gonna go see the Eiffel Tower. We might do some shopping. It is May 8th, which is a national holiday in France. So I'm a little worried about what's gonna be open and what's closed, but we'll see. And then the big thing for today is at 8 p.m. tonight, we have a dinner cruise, which I'm excited for, but 8 p.m. is quite late. So we'll have to figure out during the day how I'm going to sustain myself until then. But I am excited. I think it'll be fun. So let's eat breakfast and then start our day. First stop is the Eiffel Tower. We've seen it before, but this is the first time I've seen it like head on. Just us on the Eiffel Tower. Any thoughts?
It's a cloudy day.
Yeah.
But
the sun's like trying to come out a little bit, but it is quite cloudy.
yeah, I feel like European cities did it right by like having one tall tower to look nice, and then there cannot be any skyscrapers around it.
There are so many dogs here. Oh my gosh, what's happening over here? But the dogs are out today. And we probably just spent like 15 minutes taking photos. It's already 10 a.m. and there's not that many people here. Like, I feel like we got really nice photos.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of gloomy, but for me, the optimal photo is like no people in the background. I'd rather have a gloomier day with no people than a sunny day with like a bunch of people. Now we're a bit closer, but it's covered by trees. Definitely where we were in the beginning was like the optimal place to take photos because there's more people like right at this fence taking photos, but then the fence is going to be in the photos and there's a lot of people, so going back a little farther is nice. And like you can still see the Eiffel Tower back there. First Paris corgi. Checking out Paris Kith, which is like a streetwear store. This place is bougie. This store is huge compared to other Kiths. Chris is excited. It's like his favorite store.
I think it's cute.
I really like this crew neck. It's very cute. This is the crew neck. I don't know how I feel. I feel like crew necks always look a little weird on me. This is the hoodie. I feel like this is very big on me still though. I was trying on mediums before, so I asked for a small, and this definitely fits a lot better. I usually wear medium because I want like an oversized fit, but this is already like oversized, I think, so I think the small fits a lot better. This is all the women's stuff. I feel like the women's stuff is never good here though, but it is crazy how much stuff they have here. We're now at Champs-Élysées. Don't come at me if I pronounce that wrong. I do not know French at all. And it's pretty empty. This is like a huge shopping spot. I think that like some places are closed because today is a holiday, but I think a lot are still open. And then there's a lot of police around. Like when we were walking to the street, a policeman like stopped us because basically he had barricaded it, so we like had to walk right past him. And he was like, "Oh, like can I look in your bag?" Because we have the Kith bag. So I don't know what's going on, but I think it's okay. It's a little eerie though. Gonna check out the Nike store, see if they have Paris stuff. They do have Paris things. I don't think it's that nice of a design though. Let's see this hoodie. This hoodie is just basic. This store is definitely the fanciest Nike I've ever been in. Not that that's a super high bar, but still. We found some more stuff, but this is like part windbreaker. It's very weird. I like the design on this though. We're mostly looking for Chris's dad because Chris wants to get him something that says Paris on it from Nike, but I don't know, we're not being successful so far. Okay, so we're pretty sure there was like a parade. We don't know if it was here exactly, and then there's some like ceremonial event for today's holiday, because today's holiday is to celebrate the victory of World War II. So like the president of France comes and like lays flowers at the Arc. So there's a lot of police and we think that's why. So we're just gonna like walk away the area for now because we like stopped somewhere to try to figure out what to do because we're gonna go to the Arc, but it seemed like it was blocked off. And then like another policeman came over to us and was like, "You can't stand here." So we're like, okay, like we just need to move away from this. There were some people like waiting around, not a lot. Chris thinks that like the president of France might drive through after, but it's like, it's okay. So we're gonna walk to a lunch place now and we'll just see the Arc another day. It's 12:20 and we got to Carette, which is where we want to eat for lunch. Chris found it. Apparently it's TikTok famous. And this is the line for 12:20. That's pretty crazy. But it's okay, I'm not super hungry because we ate breakfast a little late, so we can wait it out. It actually only took 10 minutes to get seated, so not bad at all. We got a good table outside, nice view. This place is very expensive, but this looks like the best deal. For $22, you get the hot chocolate, juice, a croissant, and bread. Because the hot chocolate's $12 on its own. And like scrambled eggs are like 16 to 30, but it's definitely kind of a tourist trap, but I think it's also supposed to be good. We revised the plan slightly because we didn't want the bread actually. It was going to be too much bread, so we both got the hot chocolate, some nice whipped cream, and I got a like pain au chocolate, and Chris got a croissant. So we'll have to see. Very expensive, but hopefully good. Everything is really good, so at least it's not bad. That does make it a little bit better.
This is the best hot chocolate I've ever had.
That's dramatic. I don't know about that one.
Where have you had better hot chocolate?
Wait, I like the Venezuelan place we had in LA.
I think this is better. The Venezuelan place was like way too thick and chocolatey.
That's what I like.
I like the sugar.
Yeah, the whipped cream is also really good, and the pastries are yummy. The damage is done. It was very good, but my stomach low-key hurts. Because all we've eaten today are frosted flakes and this croissant and hot chocolate. I'm like, we're gonna have to have a second lunch because obviously this wasn't a lot of food, it's just very rich. And I'm like, when we do, I need like vegetables and fruit. Like I can't eat anything else because I have a feeling our boat cruise tonight is not gonna be very health forward either. We spent almost an hour there because the service was pretty slow, but I didn't mind because the seat was nice. But when we were paying the bill, I was like shrugging on my jacket, and I guess I was probably frowning too because my stomach's not like super upset, but it's not like I feel the best right now. And the waiter's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. Another view of the Eiffel Tower. It is pretty. I like the fountains in front of it. Let me know this business model where there's like 1,000 stands that all sell these Eiffel Towers. And I've yet to see like one person buy it or carry it around. How are all these stands of business? Going to a grocery store for some fruit. So we came back to our apartment to drop our like Kith stuff off, and then the idea was to like wash the fruit, cut up the cheese, and go have a picnic in front of the Eiffel Tower. We went to a cheese shop and got two different cheeses. Basically, the guy just recommended them both. And this one's a sheep cheese, and it is quite stinky and pungent. Like, it's a very flavorful. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. This one's a goat cheese, and it's very close to brie, so I really like this one. But not sure how much I'm going to be eating this one. We found a bench with a nice view of the Eiffel Tower. The only thing is there's this, like, rental... I don't even know what this is called. It's not a tricycle. Yeah. But what's the vehicle called?
Go-kart.
This is not a go-kart.
Cycle cart.
But, you know, get some entertainment with a view. For fruit, we got some tomatoes, some peaches, which I'm personally very excited about, and then some grapes that are at the bottom of this bag, but they have seeds in them, which is a big L. I had previously told Chris that nowhere sells seeded grapes anymore because we would want them, but I stand corrected. We finally got seeded grapes, which is sad. We're now on another popular shopping street called Rue Sainte Honoré. I don't know if that's right, but we can like walk down it and it gets us close to where we're going to be picked up for our dinner cruise. So, you know, it kind of works out. We're kind of having a chill day. A lot of things are closed. It's like very dead everywhere. But it's nice to just walk.
Yep.
And it's a nice day out, besides it being cloudy, but it's good temperature. Now we're going to the Jardin des Tuileries, which is the same designer as Versailles. So they say it's kind of similar. But it was nearby, so we figured we'd walk around. It looks very nice. I like all the purple flowers here. It's a nice contrast. There's actually a decent amount of people here. This is like the first place we've been today that's even semi-crowded.
Yeah.
We snagged two chairs, and one's a reclining chair, and guess which one of us got it?
I think both chairs are good.
It's like wake me up when this boat cruise is about to start. There's our boat, but we still have 1 hour before we can get on it. We came to look at the Sainte Chapelle, but not go inside because the line is very long. We weren't planning on going inside anyways, but it's not that impressive from the outside, I will say. And this is the Notre Dame church, which you can't go in since the fire, but it is sad the fire destroyed it. It is very beautiful, but you could definitely tell it used to be even more grand. Time to board our boat. We boarded the boat. Cheers. Some nice champagne. That was a wimpy. I'm ready to try these bread things though. I'm hungry now. Our table is full of beverages. Like, there's just too many. But these bread things are good. They're kind of cheesy. We are finally taking off. It's been like 45 minutes though. Chris is hungry. I'm also hungry. Also, I opened the window behind us. We asked the waiter if it was okay, and he said yeah, but that inspired a movement, and other people are opening their windows now. For appetizer, I got shrimp and avocado, like cream. And Chris got, like, duck liver. What's the actual name?
Orgla.
I'm excited to eat. Some nice river. I got the beef fillet, so this is fillet. This is duck liver, goose liver, and potato possibly with some sauce. And Chris got lamb confit, shoulder, yeah, and potatoes. For dessert, I got chocolate lava cake, which I'm very excited about. And Chris got lemon cheesecake, which I'm also excited about. Both look very good. What would you rate our dinner cruise?
8 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10 too. The food was better than I expected. Like, it wasn't like,
Amazing.
oh my gosh, this is to die for, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed everything that I had. Besides the shrimp, you had to peel, like, all the shell off, which I'm not a huge fan of. If I knew that, I probably wouldn't have gotten it, but my beef was good. The bread was probably the worst, but the first bread, the cheesy bread, was good. And then the normal bread was not that good, but the dessert was phenomenal. Like, I really liked my dessert.
I did not think it was phenomenal. I
Oh,
thought
I liked my dessert.
it was very good, but not phenomenal.
I feel like a lot of places don't do
Like,
lava cakes well,
so
but
you
this
thought
was
that
good.
that was phenomenal? It wasn't even that hot.
Wait, mine was hot.
It didn't
Mine
feel
was,
that
yeah,
hot
I don't know. Sad. I thought it was good though. And it was like nice. My only complaint is when I was eating dinner, like I don't focus on what's happening around me, so I feel like some of the dinner cruise, like the cruise part was lost on me. But then once we finished eating and I focused more on the water, it was nice. I think like overall it was like a nice thing to do.
I think my biggest gripe was that it took too long to get started because we were
Yeah.
sitting on the shore for 45 minutes.
Well,
and
no,
I
we
was getting
sat almost an
naughty.
hour because we got there. So they
Yeah.
said get there boarding at 8 and we're leaving at 8:45. And we got there at like 7:45 and we boarded immediately. So we were there for an hour and it was also very hot. But then once we started going, we asked if we could lower a window and then it was a way better temperature. But we should have asked way earlier. Because I think if we could open the window, it wouldn't have been that bad to wait.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, we were very hungry and you had to wait like a long time to get your food. Like we probably weren't served the shrimp until 9. It's the next morning and it's raining. And it's gonna rain all day. Fun times. But that does not stop us. So first we're getting coffee. We both got lattes. This place is called Noir, and they really stick to the theme. We got pastries now. Don't really know what any of these are though, but excited to try. This has apple filling in the middle. It's quite good. And then this is like a milk bread. We came to this church for a view of the city, which is a little foggy from the rain, but still nice. But wow, it's like really coming down today. Like it's not super hard, but it's just constant rain. But this is the view we're working with. Still very pretty. There's also a ton of locks here. All the locks used to be on a bridge, like close to where we were last night, but they cut them all off, I think, because it was like weighing down the bridge or something. So I guess people decided to move the locks here. We found the Eiffel Tower, but it's very foggy. Let's see, right there. Not that good of a view. We bought a lock. Our love needs to be eternalized. Whoa! It's windy at this church. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, there's our lock. If anyone comes to Paris, they can come see it. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the main entrance above the X. Right here. Good choice spot. Nice view. Now we're going into this church. What is this church called?
Sacré-Cœur.
It'll be nice to be dry for a little bit. We have tickets to the Orsay at 2 p.m. It's like a little past 11 now, so we're gonna walk around in the rain. We also need to get lunch. Do I need to buy another purse on this trip? No, but Pauline was on my list before we even came here to look at, because it is made in Paris, or the brand is from Paris. Pauline was nice because you could just like walk around and try on all the bags, which I feel like you can't do that at a lot of stores. But they had very limited stock there, which is kind of good and bad because there was like one bag that I tried and I liked, but they only had it in pink and I was like, I don't need a pink bag. So, you know, I didn't need another purse this trip anyways. And maybe that's the universe's way of telling me I didn't need another purse. Time to eat lunch. We got this fancy board for some reason that's like the same thing as this menu, I'm pretty sure. And they're both in French. We got 2 French onion soup because it was so good when we got it the other day and it's like cold and rainy. This is gonna be like the perfect lunch. We also got a salad to share. This was a Parisian salad, which kind of just looks like a Cobb salad with ham instead of chicken, but it still looks very good. Because we didn't have enough pastries today. This is Ladureé, which is one of the most famous like chain pastry places in Paris. I got a pistachio eclair and Chris got some flan. And we're just gonna eat it like outside the place because it's the only place that has cover. This has a bit of the fake pistachio flavor, but it's still really good. It has like a bunch of cream and things on the inside. And Chris's flan is very good. He's happy. Those pastries were so good, but they were too big. Like, we should have just shared one. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect though, but that eclair like had so much cream on the inside. I'm in a food coma and now we need to go to this museum. And Chris is sad because his jeans are wet because we have walked around in the rain for like 3 hours now. We're trying to get into Orsay and it's like literally chaos here. Like, we've been moved around lines. It's past 2, it's like 2:10. We had tickets for 2. And yeah, just it's not fun. It's chaos. And no one knows where to go, so everyone just like stands around. Well, at 2:40 we got in, so that was enjoyable.
It only took 50 minutes.
And they like started letting 2:30 people in before the 2 o'clock line, and it's like we've been here for so long. Like, oh my gosh, that was such a mess. This is an aesthetic museum. And look, the Statue of Liberty, it's like we're back in America. We finished up at the museum. It took us about 2 hours, but I think we went pretty fast because essentially the first floor was really big and we thought there were 5 floors, and at least for me, I thought that each floor would take about the same amount of time. So I was like, all right, we need to like keep a pretty quick pace. There's definitely also not that much to read. Like, there's like a blurb in each room compared to like a blurb for each painting. So yeah, we went really fast in the first floor for the amount of artwork there was, and then we went up to the 5th floor and we're like, we'll work our way back down. And the 5th floor was also pretty big. That's where all of the Impressionist paintings were, so like Van Gogh and Monet. But then floors 2 through 4 were like furniture, and it did not take up the whole floor. So we really zoomed past that fast. Like, we looked at it, but there's not even like a lot to read. So we went by pretty quickly. What was your favorite thing in the museum?
My favorite thing was probably Van Gogh's painting of his room in the attic.
You were like, I don't get why people like this so much. It was cool. I liked it though.
I felt like the colors were very vibrant.
Yeah, I really like his like brush technique too. But I actually like the Degas versus like Monet.
I like that exhibit too.
So they like compared and contrast these 2 painters, which was pretty interesting because they had like very similar upbringings and were like maybe friends. And it was just interesting to see like the artwork together. But now we're finally walking back to our apartment. We have a cabaret show tonight at 8. It's like a little past 5 right now. So we need to take out laundry and hang it up, and then also get dinner at some point before 8. We're getting some acai bowls for dinner. We actually need to leave for the cabaret show at 7 because they say to get there like early because there's, I don't know, musical performance before the actual show. So we figured we would get something on the go. It's also funny because in Italy, like, we ate Italian food for every single meal, basically. Like, we really did not deviate off the Italian, and in France, we're just like, let's just eat whatever. This does look pretty good, though. Haven't had an acai bowl, like, since we've been to Europe, and I do really like them. This acai bowl is pretty banana tasting, but it's still hitting the spot. Also, I don't know if this is a French thing or if it's because we're like kind of in between seasons, like we're going into spring, but every building is so warm. Like, the heating is really hot. So even though it wasn't that warm today, even though it's nicer out now that it stopped raining, Like, this tastes good because it's cold and we've just been in hot buildings all day. First cabaret show. Interesting signage. All right, we got limited filming time because we can't film the show. We got some champagne. Vibes are good. Are you excited? It kind of feels touristy.
It's way less touristy than the other one.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we are at the 8 p.m. showing, which I think is early.
Good time, always.
All right, out of 10, Chris, what would you rate the show? Just out.
9.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the best thing we've done in Paris, in my opinion. I really didn't know what to expect besides naked women. But first off, the women were in very good shape. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like they all had like 8 packs basically. And then because they were so in shape, their dancing was incredible. And you think like, because they don't have clothes on, like you can't make any mistake. Like nothing is gonna cover up your mistake. So yeah, it was really good. And there was also a lot of like light work, which I did not expect.
It was a multimedia experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, it's really surpassed my expectations.
Yeah, same. I thought it was definitely...
Like I knew there would be like naked women dancing, but I did not expect.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be that good.
Yeah, there was a lot of artistic expression in different ways.
My 2 biggest complaints is one, like they played music, but the women lip synced, which makes sense because it would be very hard to find someone so hot, so good at dancing, and so willing to also sing. Like they would literally be like a celebrity. Good at singing. Yeah, no, they would be like famous if they could do all 3. So the women just lip synced, which was fine. And then my other complaint is I don't really know why they needed so many breaks though.
I think there were a lot of costume breaks and they had to change like the set.
Basically every 15 minutes, they had 2 different men. One man was like a singer who also sang 30 minutes straight before it started. And then one man was like a really good beatboxer that I think Chris enjoyed more than I did. I mean, he wasn't bad. I was just like, I would much rather see the girls dance than this like beatboxer I kill some time. But Chris was really vibing with the beatboxer.
I totally agree with you.
But yeah, I really liked it. And it was something I've never seen something like that before.
Exactly. Yeah, see me. I don't think I can see anything like that in a lot of places in the world.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy to think about, but definitely a cool thing to go to. I'm glad we went. Also, it's 9:42 and it's still light out. It's kind of crazy, but here's Eiffel Tower. It's now the next day and it's breakfast time. Still raining outside. Sad. Got some lattes, but no latte art. We got one Madame Croquet to split, and he like put it on different plates, which is nice. But we only got 1 egg, so we're gonna have to like do some.
You can take it.
No, it's fine. You can have some of the egg too. But this is just like cheese ham bread. I'm not exactly sure if you typically eat this for breakfast, but I have had this before in America and it's good. That restaurant was very average / like good. It just wasn't anything special, but it did the job for breakfast. And we came back to this apartment for a second because I thought we could get away with just 1 umbrella today because there was less rain forecasted, but we had to get my umbrella too. Like there is just too much rain. Like it poured while we were at breakfast. So I will have to carry that around all day, which is a little sad, but it's fine. So today's agenda, last full day in Paris. We're leaving tomorrow afternoon to go back to America. But today we're going to try to go to the Arc that we couldn't go to on Monday, I believe, because of the national holiday. So see that, probably like shop around that area, eat lunch in that area. And then at 2 p.m. we have the Louvre reservation. So excited to go to that museum. And then tonight we have a very fancy dinner to complete our trip, which Chris is probably a little more excited than I am, but I am excited. I always do love good food. So let's start our day. We are at the Arc. It is very impressive. It's pretty cool just because it's so big. The street's a lot more lively and crowded now that it's not the national holiday and the president of France isn't doing something at the Arc and there's not a bunch of police. The vibes are a lot better, even with the rain. We came in Galeries Lafayette, which is like a really fancy department store. I think this might be their flagship, but it's very bougie. We just want to look around. This shoe section is like absolutely crazy. I've never seen so many shoes. Fancy Adidas store. Chris is still on the search for Paris. There are Paris exclusive things, so that's good at least. I think this stuff is better than Nike. Chris got this shirt for his dad. Basic on the front, but then party on the back. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
We're eating the same restaurant we ate yesterday because it has the best like ratings in the area. It was pretty good yesterday. Got different things than yesterday. I got a cheeseburger. It like looks interesting. I don't know. Other people ate it yesterday and it looked good. Chris got duck confit, classic French man, and we got some snails, which I've never eaten snails before, so we'll see. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like them.
Yeah. You want me to do it for you?
Yeah, sure. It basically has no flavor, but the sauce is like kind of good, but it's mostly just flavorless. What did you think of your duck confit?
Pretty good.
Did you like today's lunch better or yesterday's lunch better?
It's hard to say. They're both about the same.
For me, I think yesterday's was better because I thought the French onion soup was better than anything we had today.
But the best thing we've had so far at like a French bistro is the beef stew.
Yeah. Yeah, that place was
And
better
the
than
cookies,
like
yeah.
that restaurant, in my opinion, for the French food. The other food was bad there, but yeah, my burger was like fine. Like it wasn't bad. I've had a lot of bad burgers in my life, but it wasn't anything amazing.
Yeah, it looked pretty good though. Yesterday, when I saw it yesterday, I was like, oh, there's the creamy cheese.
Yeah, the
on
creamy
it.
cheese looks good, but then it's not that flavorful.
Yeah.
So you win some, you lose some. We made it to the Louvre. The triangle is pretty cool, the pyramid. I'm a fan. Inside the pyramid, it is at least 85 degrees in here. I don't know if it's because of like the pyramid is channeling all this sunlight or if it's because there's so many people, but it's very hot. This is the mob to see the Mona Lisa. It's there. Wow. Upon further inspection, there's actually a full-blown line with like line directors. This is horrible. Just enjoying the Mona Lisa with all of our closest friends. I fought for a pretty good spot though. Honestly, I'm doing a good job.
We made it, fam.
So much fun.
This is the most iconic spot in the whole world.
Upside down pyramid. Fancy. We made it out alive. It feels so good to be in fresh air again. It was so hot in there. What was your favorite thing we saw?
The Mona Lisa.
I kind of forget. I know I liked the cheap, but that was right at the end.
Yeah, but I was in a bad mood.
There was another one.
I was so tired.
There was another one I liked, but now I like completely forgot what it was.
You can see.
Oh wow.
What was it?
I don't even know. It's like my brain is just mush.
Was it a sculpture?
It was a painting. We were there for about 3 hours. For the first hour, we like just looked at Egyptian things. Essentially, there's 3 sections, and each section has 5 floors each. Like there's 5 floors, and they're divided into 3 sections. And the first hour, we did like 2 floors of one section, all Egyptian stuff, and we're like, okay, we need to start moving a lot faster. So we had a map, and Chris just directed us to like all the paintings and sculptures that were highlighted on the map, so probably like 20.
Yeah.
Which still took another 2 hours because the Louvre is just humongous, so it took forever to like find each one. But yeah, I'm glad we did that because otherwise we would literally be there for like 20 hours. Like we would have to stay overnight to see everything. It's now 2 hours later. It's almost 7:45, which is when our dinner reservation is. We might be a little late, but we needed some decompression after the Louvre and a long day of walking. But where are we going to eat dinner?
LIBERTÉ.
It's a 3-star Michelin restaurant that Chris picked out. And I've never eaten 3-star.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, I've never eaten anything more than 1 star. Yeah.
So the head chef at this restaurant is named Alain Passard. He's a pretty famous chef. He is the creator of the Passard egg, which is something that they teach in like culinary school to a lot of students. Like,
What is it?
It's like an egg where it's, you know, when they cut like the top part of the egg off and they have like the inside of it is like oil or steam.
That's it.
He made it.
Wow.
Yeah, he invented that. And so this restaurant actually, when it was first famous, it was a meat-centered restaurant. Like
Okay,
in
yeah,
the
that's like
1990s or something, or it's early 2000s, and then they were like the first restaurant to make a drastic switch to full vegetarian restaurant in like 2005 or something. And everybody was like, oh, he's gonna lose his Michelin stars because he's going all vegetarian. And he didn't, and now he's still having 3 Michelin stars, and he like is like he has re-entered back into like meat and seafood dishes.
Wait, is ours completely vegetarian or just mostly
We didn't pick
vegetarian?
yet.
Fancy. Not really. Where's the entrance? Over there?
Right there.
We got some beet carrot juice that they gave us. It's like no one else is here yet, but it's 7:45. We're doing the tasting menu. We got this veggie plate, compliments of the chef, I think. We'll see. And some sparkling wine. The sparkling wine is really good. They say that you can eat everything with your hands. So I guess we'll start. I don't know what anything is. We got some bread and it's warm. And butter. I haven't eaten butter straight in like a month, so I'm so excited. We also just got the egg thing that Chris talked about. Literally everything comes out so fast, like I can't eat and vlog. Alright, next course is vegetable dumplings with asparagus, peas, and mint. I'm not sure if it's in the broth or if it's inside, like it's the stuffing, but we'll see. Course number 3 is white asparagus with sorrel sauce, which I don't know what that means. Mushrooms. She said cauliflower at some point, and sorrel has Parmesan cheese. I think it'll be good. Course number 4 is lobster with some sort of veggie, maybe radish question mark, and sweet and sour sauce. And then some flowers. I'm curious about this one. Next course is orange mousse, spinach, and rhubarb. I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, they had brought Chris a book. What is it?
It's a graphic novel about the chef and his experience working at this restaurant. It's not made by the chef, but I'm sure he consulted on this.
Let's see the inside. Oh my gosh. And in English, how considerate.
And it also has recipes. I don't know where the recipes
Oh, time to take some pictures.
has recipes.
It's semi-unclear what this is, but sweet onion cooked in a gratin style with lemon and parmesan. And then this is just like lettuce. I don't know, fancy lettuce. We'll see. This is a surprise meal in our 5,000 meals we got, but it's asparagus and some vegetable soup, and then mint with cream on top. This is beet tartare with horseradish cream in the middle and then mustard and carrot sauce on the side. I am the most unsure about this dish, I think. This is Dover sole with yellow lime sauce, clams, potato, and cabbage. And I love Dover sole. It's basically my favorite fish, so I'm very excited. I think this is the last, like, not dessert meal, but it's lamb and pigeon sewed together. So I think this is the lamb, this is the pigeon, with chocolate beet sauce on it. First dessert is a puff pastry with ice cream and salted caramel and hazelnut, which those are like Chris's two favorite flavors, so he should really like it. Gotta get the good picks. Unclear what this is. Chris thinks it's a bunch of apple things, so apple tart. I thought she said apricot.
No, it's apple.
It's apple? Okay.
Like, this is like apple, like sliced and curled.
Oh, I mean, that sounds good. I would like that.
No, it's not.
I think she said this was bourbon ice cream.
Oh, maybe it's bourbon.
We'll see. I'll have more dessert. I thought we only had two. I'm so full. What, do you know what these are?
Not exactly.
But can you
taste it.
label
I
that?
know this is a candied orange on top. This one has a little bit of rhubarb.
Wasn't one a beet?
Maybe this is beet with candied
This looks like
orange.
chocolate.
Yeah, we'll see when we taste it.
We just finished dinner. It's 11:25, so that took 3 hours and 40 minutes. It didn't feel that long though.
I agree,
it
yeah,
was
flew
paced
by.
well because they
Paced
just
well.
kept bringing food. I'm so full. Right at the beginning, they brought us bread, and it was like hot, fresh bread. And like Chris and I, of course, are gonna eat it because it's like hot. Like this is like the optimal time to eat the bread. And one of the waiters came over to us and was like, "Oh, like don't fill up on bread," basically. I was like, "But you need to eat this." But I get why he said it because there's just so many courses and they just keep coming. Like I'm uncomfortably full right now, but it's my own fault because I ate too much bread.
I'm comfortably full.
Well,
But yeah,
that's good.
after the first,
Yeah, as soon as
bread.
you like, if you had like one bite of your last bread, they would like bring you another bread, and it's like you don't need to do that. I don't need more bread. And at the end, the waiter came over to us, the one that made the comment about the bread in the first place, and he's like, "Oh, good job eating everything, and like all your plates were clean." And it's like, are you just calling us fat? But what was your favorite dish?
this is hard.
It's not hard for me because I rank things in real time.
I think the white asparagus really, just the combination of everything was really good.
Interesting.
That was one of my favorites for sure. There was a spinach dish that was really good as
That
well.
was my number one, the spinach and orange
The thing is,
mousse.
I think the white asparagus was better for me than the spinach, just because, I mean, the spinach was cooked perfectly, but I feel like it's just spinach.
Wait, I feel that way about asparagus too.
Wait, but it's white asparagus. It's like a little bit.
Yeah, but it's
a
the same
little
as
bit
normal.
different.
My top three were the spinach number one, the beet horseradish mustard combo number two, and number three was the sweet onion with lemon.
Oh yeah, I totally
Those are my
forgot
top
about the
three.
sweet onion. That was also up there for me. But I think that it's really hard for me to say what dish is my favorite because I feel like every dish, especially the vegetable dishes, were very, very good and unique.
Yeah, I
At the
agree.
same
Everyone
time.
was good. Okay, the vegetable dishes were the best, then the meat dishes and fish, and then the desserts were the worst, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree as well. But
Yeah.
that place probably won't have the best tasting like food in the world, but I think it definitely has the most unique flavors, the most unique combinations, and
Yeah, I
the
think
most
it depends
fresh
what
like
you
vegetables
like.
that you can get.
Because you just really like meat, but I don't like meat that much, so I like this a lot.
I like this a lot too.
But also, when we got the menus, like, we each got a menu, and then after we ordered, okay, so basically, like, the women menus, like, don't have prices on it, and I, like, do not like this. And it doesn't happen that often either. Like, I feel like it
Yeah.
hasn't happened at all when we were in LA. It happened when we were in Baltimore when we were in college a couple times.
Only once.
But when I got the menu, I was just like, oh, this restaurant's really fancy, and like everybody just comes for the tasting menu, and that's why there's not prices. And then Chris like said something about the prices, and he's like, oh, like the prices change depending on the tasting menu, because I've seen other pictures with prices. And I was like, wait, your menu had prices on it? Like, what?
I think it's a once in a lifetime experience. I don't know if I'll ever go back,
Yeah.
but it was amazing. It was unique, and I'm glad we did it. Like,
Yeah, wait, if I had unlimited money, I would definitely go back. I just don't have unlimited money.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing to try, though. It was fun to do.
Like, yeah, every vegetable dish was like its own flavor bomb.
Yeah, and it definitely inspires me to like try to cook more unique vegetable flavored things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very late now. Or it's not very late, but 11:30 is way past my bedtime. You guys have seen the vlogs. We go to bed at like 9. It is now the next morning and we are pretty packed up, ready to go home. We were thinking about going to the Luxembourg Gardens today, but we just like don't have time because it would be quite a walk or a metro. It would take a while, and then we need to like check out of here, get to the airport. So we're just gonna have a chill morning. We have some grapes from our picnic a couple days ago and some frosted flakes to eat, but essentially we're just gonna pack up, go to the airport early, and fly back to LA. Looking forward to this 11-hour and 40-minute flight. For some reason, I thought it was 9 hours. And then I was like, wait, this is longer than I thought, which, you know, it's a long flight, but we'll get through it. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the Paris vlog and all the European vlogs. It was a lot of fun to vlog and share with you guys. And yeah, I don't know what my favorite city was. I think I need to like reflect. It's just been go, go, go for so many days now. And it was an amazing trip, but I'm definitely ready to just like do nothing for a week straight when we get back. But in Paris, I definitely think my two favorite things were the Crazy Horse show and then obviously dinner last night. But seeing the Eiffel Tower was also pretty cool. It was cooler than I expected. So that is it for this video. Let me know if you've ever been to Paris. If so, what was your favorite thing that you've done here? I would be curious. I don't know how quickly we'll come back to Paris or Italy, honestly. My boyfriend does start residency soon, so he'll be on that grind. But I am very thankful that we got to take this like very long trip and see Italy and France. I had never been to either before this. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!